Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to Heat D of Robot Wars Armageddon Rebirth Series 2. We had a great heat last time, we've got another good one coming up. Let's see who's here this week.
From Pembrokeshire, Cyber Slug.
It's a very powerful flipper with a lot of weight behind it as well. At 100 grams, it's a card machine, however it's quite slow at just 10 centimeters per second, a little bit sluggish. Oh dear.
From Apulia in Italy, Mastiff.
We've seen these guys before. They're completely rebuilt since the last time we saw them. They retain their powerful flipper though. They came runner-up in the World Championships. Can they do well this time? Let's find out.
From Slug, Wolfie.
We saw these guys last time around, largely unchanged since then. It's 87 grams, its top speed is 17 centimeters per second, it's still invertible and it's still got those lifting, ramming teeth.
From Northampton, Wedge.
A veteran of Robot Wars Armageddon, a legend in the making, being one of the original four. However, it's lacked success in the last few series. Hopefully this time they can find that former fortune that they used to have.
From Ipswich, Chaos 2.
A legend of robotic combat history. A very powerful flipper, very quick. George Francis's genius went into this machine, but it's quite lightweight at 83 grams.
From Southampton and seeded number 7, Spines.
Definitely the surprise package of the last war. Spines returned, seeded 7th, completely rebuilt with bigger wheels, more traction and better weaponry. Launched 1995, has more on this robot's past.
It's fair to say that in the last series, Spines were the most surprising semi-finalists, beating Firestorm in their Heat finals. However, in the semi-finals they were eviscerated by Stinger. So maybe this time Spines progress a little further and not get destroyed.
So in Group B we have Chaos 2, Wolfie and Wedge. What a group that should be! But in Group A we have the number 7 seed Spines, Mastiff and Cyber Slug. Spines versus Cyber Slug up first.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Spines, the obvious favourites in this one. They've got those ramming, stabbing, lifting spines. They're much bigger than they were in the last wars. They've got more traction for more push, and they've toppled over Cyber Slug immediately. Can Cyber Slug... Can Cyber Slug self-right? I was about to say no, but they can throw themselves in the pit. Well, that was an easy victory there for Spines. They get the 3 points. Cyber Slug get nothing. They've got to try and redeem themselves now against Mastiff, although it's going to be a tough task. Mastiff are good.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Mastiff are a very, very experienced machine. Not only did they come runner-up in the last ever World Championships of the original series, they also were the last ever Tag Team Terror champions, along with Terrible, and they are currently throwing Cyber Slug all around the arena here. And Cyber Slug, they may be 100 grams, but that means nothing when compared to Mastiff's huge flipper. They got a good flipping earlier on, Cyber Slug, it has to be said. And another one there, look. Up and over they go. Oh, and Mastiff have lost their weapon! And all of a sudden, the battle has changed. Cyber Slug here, about to pull off one of the biggest upsets of the war so far, I'd have to say. Mastiff was a sure win for that fight. He was the odds-on favourite to win that battle at least. But here they are out, finished, goodbye. Nail, crumpling into the underbelly. There's Malfunction with a flipping scoop. The house robots like 2 savage crocodiles picking at a carcass. Goodness me, and poor Mastiff. I think they're done for now. They're in the pit, they're out. And Cyber Slug managing to redeem themselves and get 3 points. So Mastiff have to win this next battle to stay in it for a tiebreaker battle, but they are up against number 7 seed Spines. That's not going to be easy.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
One thing I forgot to mention about the new Mastiff was that it was actually a bit of a rush job. They got it finished within 2 weeks. Oh, no! And once again, it definitely shows, doesn't it? The robot is very fragile, and I'm sorry, but this is a poor performance by or is it? I was going to say this is a very poor performance by Mastiff, but Spine's coming back now. Well, Mastiff, they almost came back there out of nowhere. That flipper, I think, has taken a lot of damage. I think what the problem is, look, is that they can't retract it. I think the segment that stops the flipper from going too far back is snapped off, meaning that they can't retract their flipper anymore. And that's really bad. Something else has come off there as well. I think that's one of the side skirts of Mastiff. Bits and pieces are just flying off of here, left, right and centre. It's very, very fragile, Mastiff, by the looks of things. Like I said, it was a rush job. They only did it in 2 weeks. And I think they've been immobilised. They have. The house robot's coming in. Oh, Katrina losing a tooth off of her flywheel. That doesn't bother her. She's still able to smash things up. In slams Brick with those lifting arms and his ramming capabilities. Oh, look at that! Mastiff snaps in half.
Cease.
One half goes flying in one direction. The other half goes flying in the other. Well, that was a great victory there for Spines. Well done to them. They get the 6 points. They're through to the heat final. Mastiff and Cyber Slug, so long to them. Thanks for coming. It was great having them back. And now we've got Chaos 2, Wedge, and Wolfie. Let's see who'll win this group.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Wedge, you know, are former champions. However, ever since then, they've never really lived up to their full potential. They finally rebuilt the machine for Rebirth, and they didn't do very well then either. Lost in the first round last series to Hyperactive, if I'm right in thinking. Wolfie made it to the second round in the last ward, beating the very fancy Bodyguard along the way. Wedge currently has taken damage in this fight. Wolfie has also taken damage. They've lost those front lifting ramming teeth, and that happened last time around as well. They haven't fixed that problem. Like I said, it was very largely unchanged. Wolfie now a basic rammer, if you'd like, a good basic pusher, slamming them into the CPZ. They're slamming Wedge into the CPZ. Wedge's weapon is still on the machine at least. So therefore, they've taken the less damage, in my opinion, or at least the less serious damage, if it were to go to the judges. Good battle this. Wolfie's probably the more aggressive of the two. Probably the more controlled of the two as well. Who's got the best strategy? The judges do decide on 4 criteria. Strategy, control, damage, and aggression. And at this rate, I'd probably say strategy's even. Damage leaning towards... I think Wolfie. Oh, well, it's leaning towards Wolfie now. Look at that. Wedge's flipper has come off. Now, what on earth can Wedge do now? This battle was an even Steven fight until that moment. Both robots were showing great strengths. But now this is Wolfie's battle to lose, if you ask me. Although Wedge can still try and get a good push in, but it's 2-wheel drive versus 4-wheel drive. Wolfie is also the much quicker machine. A much more powerful machine when it comes to the drive. Both of them are now with Katrina in the CPZ, both getting away very quickly. Katrina, you were far too slow there. What was that? Seriously, girl, get your glasses on. Now, who has got the most potential now? Definitely for me it has to be Wolfie, although Wedge able to push back. Oh no, not for long. Being pushed back once again into Katrina's CPZ. And now losing a side panel as well. For me, Wolfie are on top here, winning on damage, winning on control, and potentially aggression as well now. Strategy as well, I think. Although Wedge, to be fair, that's good strategy there. Pushing Wolfie into the CPZ, using their weaponlessness to their advantage almost. Wolfie has managed to dislodge the flywheel of Katrina. Not the first time that's happened in this series. Wolfie pushing Wedge now into the CPZ with Karma. Down comes Karma's crunching jaw. 3 kilos of force. Can lift 350 grams, that arm can. And this for me has very much been Wolfie as we get to the final 10 seconds now. Wolfie well on top. And will surely take the judge's decision after what was originally a very, very close battle. But Wolfie for me managed to get enough points towards the end. And the judges agree, 2 points to Wolfie, none to Wedge. And now, can Wolfie make up any points back as they go up against Chaos 2?
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
The battle of the flippers. They managed to fix their flipper Wedge. They fixed all the damage. The fair play to them. They managed to fix it in time for this fight. Wedge on their side in the CPZ with Brick. That's not a place you want to be. He's a hard-hitting machine. And Chaos 2 throwing him in the air. That blue front visor breaking off once again off of Wedge. I wonder how well Wedge's flipper's working. Well, there it showed quite a lot of power. Throwing Chaos 2 up in the air, but it's upside down. It can self-right the machine very well. But it's out the arena. Oh, sorry. I was a bit delayed there, but they did the party. I apologise. Out the arena in Chaos 2. That was impressive. 3 points to Chaos 2, none to Wedge. So Wedge are out this time around once again. That's a shame for them. Wolfie have to win this fight. Otherwise, Chaos 2 will nab it 6 points.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
If anything, the benefit of the doubt really goes here towards Wolfie. Chaos 2 has to win this fight via a KO, if anything. If Wolfie was to win on the judge decision, it would be 1 point ahead. If it was to win via KO, it would be 2 points ahead. Chaos 2 could also win via judge decision and be quite a few points ahead as well. Both machines, very tactical battle here for Chaos 2 because Wolfie is an invertible machine, so flipping it will only get you so far in this battle. Goodness me, what a flip that was! And Wolfie went flying across the arena there, rolled across the arena almost. That dog's barking mad, and again look into the air. Chaos 2 for me are in the lead at the moment in this battle, but don't count Wolfie out just yet because remember, Chaos 2 has a limited CO2 supply. It can't keep throwing Wolfie in the air like this. Every time it misses and out of the arena, every time it misses getting Wolfie in the pit, oh, goodness me, that was close. Every time it misses an opportunity like that, it's a wasted flip. Yes, it may look good for the judges. Wolfie sees the broken up again, by the way, there, sorry. A bit late to the party again there. But as I was saying, oh, Wolfie buried it in the pit again. But as I was saying, every time Chaos 2 has a flip, yes, it might get points for the decision, but it's still a wasted flip of CO2. More teeth flying off of Wolfie now as they are in the lair of Katrina. Chaos 2 with another flip, and Wolfie looks very, very suspect. Oh, and I thought they could have been out the arena then. And I think George Francis did too. He's a little bit devastated that didn't go out the arena. He's a good sport, George Francis, though. He doesn't mind if he wins, loses or draws. He'll happily face anybody and he will have a good time. Wolfie thrown around once again. Personally for me, Chaos 2 is definitely the leader in this battle in pretty much all 4 criteria if it was going to the judges. Wolfie really need to get back and do something now because they've been thrown into the CPZ with Nail. And it looks like those 6 points could very well be Chaos 2's at any point. If not, it will be 5 points. Goodness me, another near out the arena there by Chaos 2. Wolfie trying to grab a hold. Trying to get away from now and doing so. Chaos 2 in underneath. Wolfie once more. This is a really tactical battle now. Could well go to the judges. I don't think it's going to be very close, to be honest. Wolfie flipped into the CPZ once again by Chaos 2, and this is just slowly but surely becoming an assault and batter. This one, to be fair. Poor Wolfie going to throw around and finally out the arena. Chaos 2 have got their 6 points and are therefore through to the heat final to face off against the number 7 seed Spines. Well done to Wolfie, it was a good attempt, but they and Wedge both go out, they haven't scored enough points, Chaos 2 has scored enough, they get the victory and they go through to the heat final to face off against the number 7 seed Spines. Another invertible robot. This could be interesting.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Interesting battle this one. Both robots have got high ground clearances, so therefore can be exposed by the power of each other's weaponry. Chaos 2 has been toppled. Can it self-right? Spines there. Good tactics by Spines. Spines are trying to stop them from self-righting, but Chaos 2 now are going to get underneath the very high ground clearance of Spines. Oh, and Spines out! The number 17s are gone. Chaos 2 have reigned victorious once again. And they go through to the series semi-finals. Well done to them. Commiserations to Spines. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.